Alright guys, welcome back to White or Black. I hope you're ready for today's story. This is probably one of the most harrowing experiences that I'd probably ever had. So, hold on to your seats. This one here is going to take a minute to tell, but it is a very unique experience I had. Today's story is called Unexpected Guest. So on this evening, we were two friends of mine. We were just hanging out, doing our usual thing. Small town, boredom, just having a few drinks. And there was really no lead up to what started, this experience. Just hanging out, nothing weird, nothing at all. And the three of us, we decided that we were gonna go out on the porch and have a smoke. So as we went to leave this trailer home I was living in, it exited through the laundry room, and two of my friends were about out the door. I was right behind them, and in my laundry room, the dryer just decided to start on its own. Now, I'm sure many of you use a drying machine very often. Dryers don't start on their own. You have to turn the dial to the selected time, and you have to push the start button. Well, we didn't have that. Nobody touched it. We were all right there, and this dryer just starts on its own. And we're all kind of staring at it and looking at each other and thinking, what is that? And so as we stared there for a few minutes, it was kind of creepy, freaky. Never had that happen before. All right, that's kind of goofy. Thought maybe I had an electrical problem or something going on there. And at the same time, I was still trying to wrap my head around it. So reluctantly, I reached over slowly and turned it off. I was trying to figure out how it started. Very weird. I thought, okay, all right, we'll fix that. We'll move that back to whatever and be done with that. And so we were standing out on the porch and discussing how strange this was. And we finished our smokes and everything else. And upon going back into the trailer, once again, the dryer starts operating like someone had engaged it. I thought, okay, this is bizarre. Now it's creepy. And so we once again reluctantly checked it out and turned it off. Okay, no other instances there. It stopped, but it kind of started us off, and we thought this is really strange, and went about our business. So as we continued, just hanging out, kind of having fun, other people, had come over, and so there was a larger group there. There's probably 8 to 10 people just hanging out, doing their thing, One of my friends, she had been away at camp, some girls' camp, business camp or something, and she was a little worn out. So, everybody's pretty comfortable at my home usually. So she decided to kind of lay back on the couch, and she actually ended up dozing off. And as she was dozing off, I had a friend, one of my friends, that was, of the three of us, had started acting a little strange. And we're trying to figure out, we were kind of watching him, seeing what he was doing. All his mannerisms were off. Like, all right, he doesn't seem like quite the same person. So he ended up going, and he was like looking around the house, and he was, he kind of got to the point where he was unresponsive. And at one point, he was like laying down on the floor, and we were talking to him, and he was not responding. His eyes were wide open. He was just laying there, and we were thinking, what is he doing? And, it sounds, off, but my one buddy, I remember him actually throwing a pillow? He threw a pillow at him, and he deliberately, because it was creepy. He was actually trying to snap him out of it. We were all fairly anxious about it and nervous, trying to figure out what he was doing. And so he actually threw this pillow, and he didn't throw it soft, and he hit him in the groin area, and no response. And he should have. Well, sometimes shortly after this, he kind of snaps out of it, kind of gasps, and he kind of comes back to it. And then at the same time, he's saying he was not in control. He's saying that he had left his body and he had seen things. And he went into there's just down the hall here. He went into the first bedroom, and he went to the closet, and he was looking. I had this Halloween mirror there, and he was looking at it, and he was looking like there was weird etchings on it, like somebody with their fingertip had been trying to write a message of some sort. And I remember seeing different things like 3, and other things on there. And he started talking about room in the walls, and he said something to the effect of there was room in the walls for a body. And that kind of creeped me out. I mean, I'd grown up in this trailer home before my parents had built their house, and I had bought the trailer after the fact. We moved it over here to this trailer court. And so, I mean, this house had a hallway that always creeped me out, when I was a kid. It was just designed weird. But, sometime after this, it was just kind of solemn. People were just kind of sitting around thinking, what in the world is going on tonight? And so as we're all just kind of sitting there, you could kind of tell everybody was kind of lost in their own thought, from what had occurred earlier with the dryer, what had just occurred with my friend, and the weird cryptic things he was talking about. I remember sitting there. We had this fireplace, that had been installed in the trailer some years back when I was a kid. My parents had put it in. And I was sitting there, and it had these folding glass doors, and I remember sitting there, and out of the corner of my eye, I looked to the left, and in the reflection of the glass, I can see a black cloaked figure. I can't see the eyes, but I can see from the bridge of the nose down to the chin. And it's just looking down at me. Its head's tilted down, and it's looking at me. And so I look to the right, and there's nothing there. Kind of weirds me out. I look back like, wow, am I just seeing things? And I look back, and in the glass, you can see the reflection of this figure, like looming, looking down at me. And after seeing it the second time, it freaked me out. And I remember jumping up to my feet. And at the same time, my friend, who'd been sleeping on the couch that was exhausted from her time away at camp. She jumps up gasping, completely excited, freaked out, and so now everybody else around the room is looking at us thinking, what just happened now? And I'm freaked out, she's freaked out. It takes a couple seconds for everybody to kind of come to sorts and say, whoa, wow, and I'm explaining, like, I just saw something in the reflection of the glass and this and that, and it was looming over me, and there's something else here, and then everybody starts asking her about this, and she describes, she was having this dream that there was this figure that was creeping around the room unbeknownst to any of us, but she could see it, and it was looming around like it was stalking, like it was it was trying to pick which one, it was after. And she said about the point that it was about ready to pounce and jump on her, as it went to pounce, that's when she woke from her dream, completely freaked out. And I said to her, it's like, would it have by chance been wearing a black cloak? Was it, could you not see its eyes? You could just see the nose and down. And she's like, how did you know? And I told her, it's like, I just saw it with my eyes awake. Completely freaked out. We were freaked out, weirded out by this and whatnot. And yeah, that's... Regardless, it was so creepy that it pretty well ended the evening, and everyone was kind of filtering out, Everybody was freaked out. It was weirded out. So here I am, kind of left to my own means. My friend Brian, he was still creeped out by it too. I don't think many of us really kind of wanted to be alone, but I think that most of everyone did not want to stay at my house that evening. So he actually decided he was going to stay the night. So, just in case anything else would occur, which I was very grateful for, to have someone else stay there with me that night. It was very, very creepy. And anyway, so that was about the end of that, and but I remember it was probably about a week later, and behind this trailer court, the landlords had taken and they had put up a chain link fence all down the back of it, kind of to separate the back side of this trailer court off from anybody creeping around the back side or whatever. And I had heard something. My bedroom was actually at the back of the trailer, which was right along, we're talking 6-7 feet maybe to the fence, and I heard something rustling out against the fence. And I remember peeking out of my bedroom window back at the fence, and lo and behold, what do I see? I see something that's kind of hunched over and this and that, and it's dark. It's I've got the light in my room, and I'm trying to focus and see, what the heck, who's out here messing around there? I was thinking somebody was out there messing around the fence, or deer, or wildlife, or whatever. And the more I looked at it, it's like I realized that I was staring back at this cloaked figure again. Freaked me out. I thought, all right, wow, okay, this was probably like a week or so ago. I thought this was over, and I'm seeing it again, and freaks me out. So anyway, I don't even remember what I did the rest of that evening. I think I left the house. It's like, no, I'm not doing this again. And lo and behold, I end up talking with my neighbor sometime after that, a couple days or so, and she's asking me if I had seen anything weird back here along the fence line, a couple nights back. And I was like, yeah, actually I did. And so we're talking to each other about this, and she had said that she had heard it, and she thought there were some kids out there or somebody out there messing around, that wasn't supposed to be back there. And, or, maybe it was a deer or whatever. And she had looked out the window there, and, about the time that she was going to try and say something, she got this foreboding, creepy feeling, and she ended up not saying anything. She said something didn't look right, and I had described what I had saw and kind of what had occurred, just within the week, over on this other side. Now, here's a weird part to this too that I had kind of forgotten about. A nephew of hers, some years prior there, and it was actually in her trailer where an old friend of mine that I had worked with, we'd got together and found out, it's like as I was living in this place, that, oh, that's his aunt over there. So we were kind of hanging out, and we were reading tarot cards in her kitchen. Now, this is the friend that actually taught me how to read the tarot cards, and it was right next door to where I am at now. And so we thought, wow, is that connected? I have no idea. But I just got to think about it because I'd had other experiences with tarot cards, which is in one of my prior videos that, you guys should definitely check out, because it may be related. So, yes, this is a very, very odd experience. It's a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. I don't know. Let me know if any of you have had similar experiences with something that was not supposed to be there. Very, very creepy. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I encourage you to subscribe, share, give us a like, help us get our videos moving. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video.